listeners. Welcome back to the Dreadful Dialogue. I'm your host, Alyse. Today with me is Paul, and we're going to try out a new format. As fans of the horror genre and other movies as well, you find yourself forgetting movies that even though you might have seen them a lot growing up or over the years, you start to forget the plot line if you don't revisit those. So we're going to try something new, and we are going to try to see how much we can remember from the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Because even though we're both fans of Freddy Krueger and we're fans of the franchise, there's so many of them and we watch so much stuff, we've probably forgotten some details. So we're going to see what we can remember. And then after we talk about what we can remember, we're going to stop the recording, go watch the movie, and then revisit the recording again to see what we actually got correct and what we got incorrect.
So didn't you, or did I live close to Elm Street?
Who lived close to Elm Street?
Yeah, in the neighborhood.
In the Rumi's auntie lived. I think she lived on Elm Street. Are you talking about the real Elm Street in LA?
To Celeste.
Yeah, that's right. Celeste was a guest a couple episodes back, I think, for Mr. Harrigan's Phone. She's the Stephen King fan. Is that what you meant? Like somebody who actually lived on Elm Street? Or
no, I thought one of us lived close to Elm Street. One of our friends did. I know because all of the wood streets were close to me. Cedar and cactus and laurel and
they're all trees.
Fir. Yeah, they're all trees and stuff like that. So somebody had to live on Elm Street.
Is an elm is a type of tree?
Yes, it's a tree.
Learn something new every day, folks. I didn't know that, but now that I'm thinking about it a lot, I'm like, yeah, I think I did know that was a tree. I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm like, but yeah, I think she really did live on Elm Street. Of course, call her Auntie Bob. We won't say her real name. That was her nickname.
All right, so we're trying to see how much we can remember of the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Was it called Nightmare on Elm Street?
I think it was A Nightmare on Elm Street.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
I think people always just say Nightmare on Elm Street, but I believe it is called A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Now, okay, do you want to start with this? What do you remember?
Like in general, or do you want me to just ask you questions?
Well, let's start with the opening. Do you remember the opening at all?
No. I remember the ending.
I don't remember the opening. I don't know if it's like him, like the origin story of him. Is it like he did something to a bunch of kids, right?
That's what I recall from the origin story, but now I'm like, I don't even remember if I don't think they put the origin story in the first one. I want to say it's in like one of the later ones, and even it made it one of the reboots. So there we go. We could be wrong. We could be right.
So then, okay, origin story. He did something to a bunch of kids. The parents hunted him down in a boiler room.
And like set him on fire or something.
Set him on fire.
Hence the good looks he has.
Right? What did he do to the kids? Like,
I think he got rapey.
Did he, or what? There's something about a bus.
I think that's in another movie.
Okay.
I think we're mashing up all the movies right now, guys.
Was that Jason who killed them all?
Nah, it was Michael Myers, y'all. We're way off. Just kidding.
Okay. All right. So no origin story is what you're thinking. Or maybe a small origin story. I think
there's something with like the parents, because the parents keep meeting up maybe and like are talking about it, or am I mixing this up with another movie?
So my thought was that they killed him and then he's seeking revenge on the parents by attacking their kids.
Yeah, because I think he's like supernatural, right? I think we're right. It has something to do with the boiler room or fire. I don't think there's a bus, and it has to do with the parents.
So then he's attacking their kids.
Yeah.
And how many are there?
I mean, there's Nancy. There's Johnny Depp's character. I think he's in the first one. I think there's like
Johnny
4.
Depp's character?
Yeah, I think he's in the first.
Is he a captain?
No. Well, he played football, I think, because I think he's rocking like the 80s.
Undercover police officer?
No. I think he may have played football because he's rocking the like 80s. Isn't he rocking like the 80s style like jersey where you show off your like
the half mesh style ones. Like
yeah,
that?
yeah, where you show off your stomach. I think he's
Okay.
rocking that look. So this
So
came
Johnny
out in the
Depp. So we're just gonna call him Johnny Depp.
yeah, because I don't remember his character's name.
Okay. And then I don't really recall anyone else. I'm gonna say there's 6 people.
I think there's 4, but I think 4 is always like the standard. I think when we did Evil Dead, like I messed up and said there was 4 when there was 5, and yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go with 6.
We're gonna go with 6 because Paul made that decision. He's making an executive decision.
So so who was the first one to die then? I don't know any of their names. I don't recall any of their names. You said Nancy. Okay, that kind of brings up a memory, Nancy. And again, when did this come out?
Sometime in the 80s, I think.
Like 84, 86? How was
84 seems right.
Was I like 6 years old at the time or 88?
I have no idea. I just know it's one of those movies. I'm pretty sure my brother Adam made me watch it. I clearly remember him playing it and then like just leaving the room and like locking me in or something.
Well, I recall being in elementary school and I wore a Freddy Krueger costume for a Halloween when we used to actually get to dress up in elementary school.
So then it came out sometime before then. I mean, I don't know. It could have been late 70s. It got 80s vibes to it though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember. I didn't watch it in the movie theater, clearly.
I'm going to go with 84 because everything seems to have come out in 84.
84. Okay. First death. I think the blonde chick. She's got like short, like a little bob. Not a bob. I don't know, like a page boy haircut maybe. Nancy doesn't die. Nancy is. Well, let me ask you.
Nancy is the last girl.
She's the final girl. Okay, I kind of blew that. I shouldn't have said that. I was gonna ask you who's the final girl.
I remember that. I didn't know her name. I just know it was the brunette that survived.
She's got the wavy hair.
Yeah, and I know Johnny Depp dies.
The TV.
He dies in bed, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he get pulled into the bed? It's like a water bed, I think.
Yeah.
And then blood starts shooting out.
He's not the one with the TV then?
I don't know.
I know he's on the water bed.
This is mine where, this is where he gets sucked into the water bed. And then, and of course, again, let's go back, I guess.
Sorry, I'm fighting a cold, y'all.
So
too much water bed action.
I guess we can see that Freddy Krueger is going after them in their dreams. Let's go back. We could go.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I could definitely remember that they're dying in their dreams because you got that great song from was the song in wait, was the Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff song from part 1?
No.
Or did that song come out later?
I think later.
That song is the jam.
Yeah, no, it came out after. I would assume because it became popular. Nightmare on Elm Street became popular, and then then they came out with the song.
It was called like a Nightmare in My Neighborhood, maybe.
Nightmare in My Neighborhood.
We'll have to Google that, and we'll talk about that when we do the movie. Okay. The actual
so back to the premise.
We're going. Okay, let's see. See if we can get this right. Who else dies is what I want to know.
So he's attacking them in their dreams. So they figure out that they can't go to sleep, otherwise he will invade their dreams and they could potentially kill them. Mm-hmm. So you said a blonde girl died. I don't remember who was the first one. I remember Johnny Depp died.
And then there's another guy, and maybe the other guy is rocking the 80s outfit, or maybe they both are. Is it the Sharulo guy from the guy from Wildcats? You guys remember the movie, the 80s movie, the Wildcats movie, with Goldie Hawn, where they're a football team? I think it's just hitting me right now. I think the guy who played Sharulo, that was his character's name in Wildcats, I think he's the boyfriend of the blonde, and I think he dies too. But I don't remember who dies.
I don't recall, first. So I'm gonna say sure.
And then Nancy's mom's like a borracha, right? And she's like a drunk or something.
Oh yeah, she was like traumatized about everything that happened, and with Freddy, and probably guilt-ridden for killing him. I don't know.
And then was it the dad?
I'm just making this stuff up.
Yeah, I know. I think the dad, or like a detective or something. Wasn't he another actor that's in a lot of stuff? God, I see his face, and I know he's in other horror movies, and it's gonna drive me crazy.
We'll call him Dad number one.
What if he's not the dad? Like I said, for some reason, I
That's
think he's a
fine.
dad or a detective. I don't know.
We're trying to use our brains from the 80s, so
From the
we'll
80s.
see.
I mean, we watched it sometimes, sure, later than that. But like I said, I mean, we're not just horror fans. We consume a lot of media. So we'll see what we get right and get wrong. Oh, but the song "One, Two, Freddy's Coming for You" that's in the original movie, right?
Yeah, that was with the little girls playing
Jump rope or
hopscotch,
hopscotch.
jump rope.
One of the
Jump rope.
two.
Jump rope, I think.
Was it? Okay.
Jump rope.
And I managed to sing again, guys. I always try to sing a little tune for you guys because I'm such a great singer.
Okay, so that's 3 people you said that died. What about the other 3?
I don't know who the other 3 are.
we're gonna the guy with the mullet.
Okay, we're just gonna go with mullets because it's the 80s.
So there should be, and he was driving a Camaro.
Okay.
The guy with the in the Econoline van.
Oh gosh, was he that's total creeper status right there.
Was there an Econoline van? No.
I mean, it was the 80s.
That's 3, and then the girl who I don't know. There's always a girl that is like the slutty one that gets killed because she's being slutty.
I think that's Sharulo's girlfriend, which again, Sharulo is not his character. And for all I know, it's not even Sharulo from Wildcats. Oh my God, now I gotta go watch Wildcats next.
Okay, so then what else happens? He's slowly picking them off. Like, do you remember any of the other deaths? I don't really recall too many.
I just recalled Johnny Depp's character.
Oh yeah, and he had a glove that had a bunch of knives on there.
Well, duh, and a smooth hat. Was it a fedora? No,
it was some.
I don't know. I see
hat.
the picture all the time.
It's some kind of hat, and he has bully striped shirt.
Yes, bullies, because bullies always wear horizontal striped shirts. He's rocking the red and green, even though he's spooky. He's got like Christmas vibes. No, it's like it's a more darker green and red.
All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't remember any of the other deaths. And then so Nancy survives. How does she survive?
I mean, he just doesn't get her. I don't know. I just remember the ending, but I don't want to spoil it. I do remember that. I think we should save it for you.
Okay, let me see if I remember the ending. Doesn't he get caught on fire again?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Maybe that's another one.
There's like a jump scare at the end type of scene. Like a door.
There's a door, yeah. I remember a door, but I don't remember what happened.
Like grabs her or something. I don't.
Oh, yeah, she thought she survived.
Is it that double dream? No, it's not the double dream thing. What do they do that in? They do that in like American Werewolf.
A dream within a dream. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. It's kind of very Friday the 13th with the jump scare.
So yeah, let's see. Any other details that you can recall about that? Like,
I mean, they're in high school. So original, right?
Are they in high school? Do they have any cool music? Is there any music that you remember from it?
No, I don't remember any of the music other than like that song that we talked about, the girls.
Yeah. Who is the actual director?
I don't know. I want to say Carpenter.
Is it John Carpenter?
I want to say Carpenter, but I don't think it's Carpenter because he usually does the music when he does stuff, and I would have remembered.
It would be bad if we're gonna be like, you guys don't know anything.
Yeah, we could be way off, so we're definitely testing our memory here,
And then Robert Englund was Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Robert Englund. He's still around.
I do remember him.
He's still doing stuff. I do remember that. Not in the newer ones. He's in the older ones.
Okay, so
you have anything else before we go ahead and stop this recording and we go ahead and watch the movie?
No, I think I'm way off on the 6 people.
We might be. I might be. We might be off on the people, and I might be off on the characters. Like the guy that I think is from the other '80s movies, Wildcats. Which, if anything, the most I've done is promoted the movie Wildcats, y'all. Check it out with Goldie Hawn. It is hilarious. It's not a horror movie, it's a comedy. It's like an 80s cheesy comedy. This episode is sponsored by PM Digital Web Design. Ready to elevate your business? PM Digital Web Design creates stunning, user-friendly websites tailored just for your small business. Whether you need a simple landing page, a website redesign, or an e-commerce store, PM Digital Web Design can make it work for you. Book your free consultation today at pmdigital.casaslh.com. Let's build something amazing. All right, guys, welcome back. Well, we went ahead and did our rewatch, and I'm going to say, Paul, how do you think we did?
We were pretty much way off. I think we had a couple of things right. I did get it right in that it was made in 1984. And I don't know how I remember that, but that's when it was made.
Yeah, we got that right. I don't think we were completely off. I think we were, I don't know. I give it like a 50-50.
I say like the fundamentals. Like we were, how could we forget who the director was?
That is true. I felt so stupid. Like, I think I had like the worst brain fart. I'm like a huge Scream fan. And you know, when you watch Scream, there's just so many references to this movie. So yeah, I felt really dumb that like that totally went right over my head, especially because I like New Nightmare and like it's right in the name of New Nightmare, which is one of the later films. So
we said it was Carpenter and it was
Wes Craven.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I had Halloween in my head or something. I'm like, wait, did he do that one?
All right, so let's start from the beginning. There are 4 characters, so you got that right. I said 6.
Yeah, I got that right.
And so it is Tina, Rod, Nancy, and Jack Sparrow.
It's not Jack Sparrow. We did have correct that it was Johnny Depp, but the character's name was Glenn.
Glenn. Okay.
That's Nancy's boyfriend.
Gotcha.
Love interest. I guess they're a couple.
And it did say introducing Johnny Depp. So is that like one of his first credits or something like that? Or
I'm going to assume I didn't actually look that up. I could probably GTS. I could Google that shit, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we did get right. Who died first?
You got that right. I didn't remember.
Oh, see, I think I was doing good. It was Tina. Because, you know, Tina and she was with Rod. They hooked up. So that old, you know, having sex trope that got her killed. And he actually died second.
What kind of name is Rod? Like, is that, I don't know. That's kind of a weird name. Who named
it was like a
Rod?
Sexual reference. I don't know.
Something
That's the
like
way
that.
I thought of it. I also got right that actor was from the other movie that I was talking about that I couldn't stop talking about called Wildcats. His real name is Jesus Garcia. I could be saying that wrong. I apologize to that actor if I am saying it wrong, but he was in that movie. I don't even remember, did we say how Tina died in our original?
No, I don't think so.
Pre-watch?
The only one that I remembered was Johnny Depp dying. So, yeah. So how did Tina die?
After they did the deed, she was sleeping and then like she started getting slashed through her clothes and thrown around in the room and there's just blood everywhere and then like her body got thrown on the floor. And I heard that, or I saw one of the documentaries that I watched before. They like filmed it by having the room turned upside down, basically. Because she's like,
yeah, and Rod was in the room also, and he got blamed for the murder.
Yeah.
Originally. And so the investigator was Lieutenant.
Yeah.
And that was the father of Nancy, right?
Yeah, and remember I was confused. I was like, is he a detective? Is he your dad? So he was both. Or not necessarily a detective, but he was a police officer.
And the actor's name was?
John Saxon. And he's actually in a couple other horror movies. He's in Tenebrae, which is a giallo that we've watched before. He's in Black Christmas, and he has like a small part in From Dusk Till Dawn. So
he's in like a couple of giallo movies, isn't he?
I'm not sure. That's the only one I know for sure that he's in. I think he is technically like Italian American. So I think that's pretty cool too. That he, I don't remember if they ended up dubbing him or not in Tenebrae, or if he used his own voice in that one. That'd be good to look up.
So then, okay, so Rod died.
Oh,
Now
so
the
Rod got
or
arrested.
well, sorry,
Eventually, he gets
they're looking
arrested.
for Rod for the
Yeah.
murder, and he grabs Nancy on her way to school,
Hmm.
and the dad and the rest of the police were following her, so they immediately arrest him.
Yeah, and before that, like they discussed how like they'd all basically been having the same dream about a man with the claw nail fingers killing them while they were sleeping. So there's and he's trying to convince her, hey, I didn't do it, and Nancy totally believes that he didn't do it, and then he dies when he's in jail.
Yes, he gets hung by Freddy. Now they were referring to him as Fred Krueger.
Yeah, I had forgotten that they'd always been calling him that.
Oh, hold on a second. Our little one has come in. All right.
Hello. I think oh hi. He just woke up from his nap, so I guess we don't have to. Okay, so we established how Rod died. Rod got killed in the jail, which again I'm cracking up on his name because he's the one that had all the sexual references, and I'm pretty sure they picked that name on purpose because of that. Um, Johnny Depp's character Glenn, how did he die?
So Glenn dies. Well, first he was supposed to help Nancy stay awake, and he fails on that. So she gets mad at him, and yeah, so she
Yeah,
gets
she's
mad
all
at
whiny
him,
about it.
and then he ends up going home, and he's sitting on his bed watching TV. And like back in the '80s, like who actually had a TV in their room? Like I didn't have a TV in my room, and it was like a portable TV. Like he had it on his stomach, and he was watching it.
Yeah, I didn't. My family, we didn't have that. We had like one TV for me and my siblings to share, and hence why I was forced to
Yeah,
watch a
and
lot of
Nancy
scary
had a TV
movies.
too, so that was weird. Anyways, but he was wearing the classic short cut off football jersey and some sweatpants.
As was Nancy. She wasn't wearing a short one, but she was wearing a jersey. So we got worried when we were watching the movie. It's like, oh, maybe I got that wrong because she was wearing like a jersey sleep shirt at some point. But it wasn't. Did we couldn't tell if it was an
No, it
actual
wasn't.
waterbed?
It wasn't
Maybe
a
we were
water
just
bed,
thinking waterbed.
but I for some reason I thought it was a water bed. But yeah, so then I think that's the most iconic scene to me is when he gets sucked into the bed. So he falls asleep. You see Freddy's arm come out of the bed and suck him into the middle of the bed, and then all of a sudden this fountain of blood goes shooting out into the ceiling and spreading all over the room.
Yeah, it's like he imploded blood, and they used the same effect for that one too. They like filmed it like with upside down or flipped the room upside down. I'm probably saying this wrong. And I guess like the room was able to tilt, and that's why if you look at it, the blood's even kind of tilting. So that kind of made that effect really cool. So we got that kill right. We didn't get Rod. We didn't even mention how he died. Uh, got right which girl died
Yeah,
first.
and so
Then
during
and
the
then
whole autopsy or the coroner showing up, you get
oh
the
yeah,
classic line. You know, they're bringing in the stretcher, and the guy says, "You don't need a stretcher for that. You need a mop because he's basically just a puddle of blood."
yeah. Okay. So then the last person of the main
The
characters
last girl.
is of course the last girl, which still not for sure that she's the last girl. Okay, spoiler of course if you're a fan of the franchise, she does come back in a later movie. I won't say which one, but it's kind of like a weird ending, right? That sequence of let's talk about how she evaded Freddy, right? She kind of does it
It
like
was
Home
like
Alone
straight
style
Home
prior.
Alone,
I
yeah,
would think Home
like
Alone
straight
got
Home Alone
inspired
copied
by
everything
the way
from
she
them.
takes out Freddy Krueger.
That's what's hilarious. You see her
It,
setting up booby traps.
which she'd been reading that book earlier, right? Which made no sense. I think it's supposed to take place in like Ohio or something, but then they're like filming on the Venice on a Venice bridge, a Venice canal
Venice
in
Beach.
like SoCal, and I think yeah, and she has one, and she has like a book about booby traps. So yeah, she sets up a bunch of booby traps and things around the house to get Freddy. And then we do get the origin story right before that, right? Did we talk about that? How we kind of got the
Yeah,
origin
she ends
story.
up confronting the mother because they recognize the name Fred Krueger. The dad kind of shows that he kind of recognized the name, and so she talks about killing. I think we already discussed that.
That he
Yeah.
supposedly killed like 20 kids or something, right? And so that's they took him out, and she kept the nail gloves. Oh, and the mom was a borracha. She was a drunk. She was sipping on vodka with her breakfast. She had like bottles hidden in the like linen closet. So we got that part right as well. So after she does her the Home Alone stuff, Home Alone type capers, how's that?
Well, she
The
sets
ending
him on
sequence
fire.
is
She pours gasoline on
okay.
him and sets him on fire. And then he runs upstairs and basically jumps on the mom who was sleeping. And so she catches on
Oh yeah, I
fire.
forgot about the mom's death.
And Nancy and her dad go upstairs and they see her like getting sucked in. Like it was basically like a burnt out husk getting sucked into the bed and disappearing. And so then that's when the dad kind of realizes, hey, there's something supernatural going on.
Yeah, and I think the reason Nancy's able to, as as we're able to assume that she survives, is she kind of like tells him she doesn't say it exactly, but she like infers like, "Oh, I'm not scared of you," because she kind of figures out that he feeds off of their fear, and that if she's not scared, he can't really like get her. And then what about the end? So the very ending sequence. That's where it kind of gets confusing. It makes it hard to tell if she actually was the final girl, because they kind of make it like a dream sequence because she wakes up in the morning. Her friends pull up in a red car,
Her
convertible, the
friends
same
who
one
are
they were
dead.
driving at the beginning. Yeah, who are dead, right? Yeah, the three main characters, um, or the other three main characters with her. But then the top goes down on the convertible, and it's got the classic red and green stripes, like Freddy's sweater. And then you get the epic scene where the mom's standing in front of the house, and she's like waving, and then she gets like pulled into a there's like a little window in the door, and it very clearly a mannequin.
Yeah, it was very, very clearly a mannequin getting pulled in, which is kind of funny. What was there some story behind
Yeah,
it
I mean,
that you?
not that I'm aware of. I mean, I know there was a lot of practical effects for this, so maybe that's why I mean, it does look so fake. But yeah, it's very clearly when you watch it, it's like that lady didn't. That's not really a lady. That's just a mannequin that got
Yeah,
pulled
so
in.
then basically the
So
ambiguous ending, meaning that is she still in a dream? Is he still alive? Did she actually die? What happened? So you don't get a official ending on until I guess they made the new one, which was it was interesting when we were looking at the making of it. They came out pretty close to each other, 2 and 3. I mean, it was within like 5 years. I think they made all of them.
there was yeah, there's several that came out pretty consecutively. In terms of the song, we did get to hear one, two, Freddy's coming for you. So we knew that was in the first movie. What I had wondered about the Will Smith song. That's
You
not
said
till like way later.
89.
I think that's like five movies.
Oh no,
I
88.
think so. I think it's like
I think that was when part
yeah, it's a later
3
movie.
came out almost.
I want to say it was more like four or five that song comes around. The song with by DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith. So I think overall, we got some of the stuff right, and then we got some of the
Most
stuff
of the stuff
wrong.
wrong.
But either way, it was a really cool concept. I think I got more right than you did, but it was still a fun concept to revisit because, like we said, you watch so much stuff and you may not always remember things. So I think we might have to do this eventually with some of these
Yeah, and it's a
to start
classic
keep our
movie
knowledge up.
for a lot of horror fans, and I've watched it multiple times, but it probably had been maybe a good 6 7 years since I've watched it last. So it was yeah, going back to try to remember everything. It's like we understood the basic concepts: who dies, what the premise is about, and I think we mashed up some of the other movies as they came along because Honestly, I couldn't tell you the difference between 2 and 3 or anything right now, but maybe we'll
I
have to
could
do
maybe.
that uh, rewatch again to see what we can remember of part 2 and 3.
Yeah, it was really cool too to it makes you appreciate like Wes Craven's later work like Scream. You could see so many references and things that he was using from those original movies and bringing them into the those movies, those same tropes and ideas. He just made them even more comedic. And I do know Freddy wasn't as comedic in this one either. His quips quite aren't there yet. He's funny, but not the same. And then I didn't remember the music either. That like during the fight scenes or the killing type scenes, it's all like the synth music. I remembered the score, but I didn't remember that at all.
Now, would you say that it's age appropriate when we watched it?
Probably. I mean, if you understood the language, maybe not some of the conversations that Rod is having about, like, I think he makes a reference to his penis size and stuff. Maybe not. Gore wise, yeah, I don't think I probably should have been
Yeah,
watching it either.
there was a
I mean,
lot of
to
blood
me, he's
in
funny
the first
now as
kill
an
with
adult.
Tina, and then with Glenn, of course. Blood flowing all over the place. It was pretty gory in that sense.
The body bag of like Tina's body being in the hallways and stuff, that would
Yeah.
be kind of traumatizing too. Yeah, I mean, I was scared of it for sure when I was a kid. I couldn't tell you how old I was when I first watched it, but I definitely was scared. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this different format. We're going to see if we try it again in the future. If you like what you're listening to, I guess I'm supposed to be telling you guys to like and subscribe, stuff like that, or leave us reviews. Check out our website, dreadfuldialogue.com. And we are also on Instagram at Dreadful Dialogue Podcast. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.